here to the Moreno Valley Ranch Golf Course Clubhouse for this all-important debate here in the 4th District of Moreno Valley. I am absolutely thrilled that you all are here. My name is Pastor Don, and I am one of the speakers for this event. I'm hoping to start a church here in Rancho Bellagio in this beautiful city of Moreno Valley. And of course, my goal is that we will be holding our services actually right here in this clubhouse, hopefully at the end of this year. But it's time to get started. Before we do, I just want to let you know what an honor it is to be here this afternoon. Before the debate begins, I'm excited to first of all introduce to you the host for this event. He is the Director of Real Estate Development for Bridge Investments, and he is the manager of this beautiful development site here at this golf course. So let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Eric Hefner.
Thank you, Pastor Don. I appreciate the introduction there. And I tell you what, over the last 18 months that we've been owners here in Moreno Valley, I've really come to appreciate the passion of the citizenry here in the entire community of Moreno Valley about all the causes that are in the city. I went to an early meeting in the late 2015 at City Hall, and they had just asked for a lot of people to come together, and kind of the question was, what can we do to make Moreno Valley better? And there must have been in that meeting hall maybe 100 people there. And a couple of the first things that were mentioned was the library, and they want to have a city library. But the number 3 thing that was mentioned, what's going on with the golf course? So I was pretty thrilled about that, because we were just in escrow to buy it, and just to find out that people in this city are really concerned about what's going on with the golf course. So I want to take a real quick second, bring you up to speed before we get into the debate here. I just am really happy and proud to have been asked if we could host the debate. The fact that we have a pretty large venue here in this district, without a doubt, I said yes. I'm not doing this by no endorsement of any candidate whatsoever. What I am endorsing is the political process, and my endorsement is with the community, and that's where we want to go. So I want to bring you up to speed on where we are with this golf course and renovation. We have made our first application to the city to put 400 plus apartments out here on this driving range, and we own these apartments right next door, and the idea is to expand those apartments into this driving range, so the quality of those apartments is what you're going to see the quality of this development here. And we're really happy with our ownership right there in that property right now. So we've had a number of meetings with the communities here in the area. We've met with the residents up on Championship Drive, residents out in the Valley 9, residents over on the Lake 9. And this design of our apartment project reflects a lot of community input that we had. We basically eliminated all the buildings over here that were going to block the views for these residents that are over here on number 9 Mountain and their views to the east. They will still have those views. These residents that live up here on Championship Drive, their views to the north will still be there because we've lowered the building height. So that hasn't been blocked. So that was a very large impact what's going on for the people that live right around the apartment community. And we started off with 440 plus units. We just yanked buildings down, we're down to 414 units. And that's still going to be enough to make the economic driver work to open the golf course. Obviously, the golf course, itself was not strong enough to be maintained. It's a Pete Dye golf course, we all know. Pete Dye is known for his challenging golf courses that he's built across the country. We all know we've been in a great recession, not only for economics, but golf has particularly gone down the tubes over the last 10, 12 years, especially since Tiger's wife threw that golf club through his window. But that just happened to combine with everything else that was going on in the economy at that time, and it really had golf suffer. Well, the Pete Dye golf courses, more than 1 out of 2 of his golf courses across the country have gone belly up. So Moreno Valley is not the only one that this has happened to. And the reason is because they're very challenging golf courses. They're made for typically the scratch golfer. That's why you had the tournaments out here. When you had the web.com tour out here, or the Nike tour, that's why they were here, because it's a challenging golf course. Well, the average everyday golfer is normally a 20, 22 handicap guy, and he gets frustrated on playing on a golf course like this. And then the only way that would entice them to come back is to lower the green fees as they were going into the recession. Well, when you lower the green fees, you don't get enough money to maintain the golf course. So then what the owners started doing to maintain the golf course, they started taking the sprinkler heads that are adjacent to the homeowners on all the golf course and putting those sprinkler heads in the middle of the fairway instead of buying new ones because he didn't have enough money to do so. Then they started scoping back on the amount of water that was going on the golf course. Then eventually it was just a dust spiral all the way down the tubes. They filed bankruptcy, and then we came in. We were in escrow to buy this property when this property went into bankruptcy. We were very excited about buying the apartments, being adjacent to a golf course, just like the homeowners were excited about buying a home on the golf course. Well, when this went into bankruptcy, we saw we can do something about that. We can make this community better. Another thing we noticed when we came out here is that we have 30,000 units across the country. Most of our product has about 25,000 of those units. We have some form of after-school care, after-school work for the students when they come home from school. Before their parents come home to their apartments, they can go into our clubhouses and have learning facilities and teaching facilities. We're really close with Project Access, a nonprofit group that's based here in Southern California. But when we bought this, we decided, well, let's see if we can contact the other youth group providers here in Moreno Valley. Come to find out, Boys and Girls Club only had one little unit of about maybe 15 units there, very small. Another group, Salvation Army, has been very big here. So we put an RFP out to 3 different groups, youth services groups, and we decided to go with Boys and Girls Club. Boys and Girls Club came with a proposal where they're partnering with PGA of America, all right? And the PGA of America and Boys and Girls Club is a national group, obviously PGA is national, and they want to make this the bellwether for this type of facility across the country. And the whole idea in the golf industry is to get the kids excited about golf. And let's get that thing started. There's a lot of great lessons that can be, life lessons that you can learn in golf, etc., and that's what we wanted to promote. So just today I had the Boys and Girls Club over here with us, again, to go over where we were going to locate it. At one point we were going to put it here, then we were going to put it there. Then our golf course operator really wanted to have this entire venue open for weddings and ceremonies and restaurants and all those kinds of things, so he can really generate the revenue to help make this golf course work as well as he can. So this whole room is going to be totally remodeled, going to get a new kitchen area, a new bar area. The outside is going to be indoor-outdoor seating there with over the top. We're going to have the garage doors here that we'll be able to open up in the in the hot summer days, so you can eat outside, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful sitting. But that we had to put the Boys and Girls Club somewhere, so we decided to put them over here where our maintenance facility is over here. And this is off the number 9 lake course. This is the park that's over here. The junior high is right down here. All right, so we're going to move the Boys and Girls Club over here with the PGA, and we're going to take the lake 9 hole and turn that into a teaching area, chipping, putting, and that kind of sand trap work and that kind of a deal. This, not lake 9, is going to be, we're going to turn the lake 9 into a exercise track and a green belt. We're going to continue to maintain those 9 holes and keep it green, but it's not going to be a golf course anymore. Eventually it could be, if the market comes back to allow 27 holes to come back here, it could turn into that. But for right now, as we get moving forward, we're just going to turn this into a park. It's going to have a ton of security on it. It's going to have security gates on there. It's not going to be open to the public unless they come and get a pass from us from our golf shop, and we'll sell them on a monthly basis as well. But it's going to be open for the community, and we're maintaining it. We're not setting up a special CFD district or an HOA district or any of that kind of stuff. We're going to maintain it for the community. The way it's going to be maintained is by having those cards charged. And the monthly fee will be somewhere $20, $25 a month to use this course. It's interesting the way it's laid out. This red line really depicts a 5K run, all right? And there's exercise stations all the way through it. So that'll be a green belt that we're going to maintain. The actual golf course itself, because as I mentioned how difficult it is to play and how difficult it is to keep the expenses low, we're going to regrade the entire golf course, all right? When we regrade that entire golf course, we're going to actually knock down the high ends of the fairways and fill them up with the low ends of the fairways, or fill up the low ends with the high ends, and also get rid of the big deep pop bunkers so people have more fun playing the golf. And that's going to do 2 things for us. One, it's gonna be more playable. But number two, it's gonna cost less money to mow the grass. All right, we can just do it all in one full swope with our big lawnmowers. As it is, right now, you gotta have guys out there with hand tools, weed eaters, and that is too expensive on a golf course. So we'll be able to make money off the golf course with green fees in that $40 to $60 range, the way we're looking at it right now. All right, and the golf course will be back on track. So we've got a lot of things in the works here. All right, we've done a lot of work on the golf course. You've seen since we bought it, since our last meeting last August. We're maintaining it. We've got all new lawnmower equipment and stuff to take care of that. So we spent a lot of money in here. Found the wells. We got the wells working, all that kind of stuff. So we've spent a ton of dough already here, not including what we paid for it. But the whole point is, the things I just outlined what we're doing, all of it is contingent upon us getting the rezone of the driving range to allow us to have the 400 plus apartment units there. That's the economic driver that's going to allow everything else to happen for the community. So we have made our first submittal to the city a couple of months ago, about a month ago. We got our comments back from the city, and we're prepared to come back in with our second round of application within the next couple of weeks. Our game plan is, I would really love to be in front of Planning Commission in sometime in June at the latest, City Council July. Then there's a 30-day period after approvals are given where you gotta wait until August. So come the end of August, then we can start kicking off remodeling this clubhouse, getting the boys and girls facility ready, and then the grading of the golf course, because of the seasons going and when you're planting seeds and new growth and that kind of thing, you gotta really plant your seeds in the spring. So what we'll do is we begin grading the golf course in January, February of 2018. Plant, put the irrigation in, and hopefully the golf course, will get that golf course open by the fall of 2018. And a commitment I've made to the other city council members, and I'm going to make it a loud commitment to you again, is we won't begin construction of the apartments. We won't put a stick in the air on the apartments until the golf course is open for play. All right? That's how committed we are to making to this community, to let you know that we're serious about getting the golf course open. We have to do those parameters, but we won't open it, we won't begin construction. We may do some grading out there because we're going to take some fill that's in the driving range and put it out onto the golf course to help us there. But we're not going to put a stick in the air until the golf course is open for play. So with that, I'm open for questions anytime you want. I don't want to take too much time of the debate here, but can I take one? I'll take.
This is everybody's going to think that going to want to answer you this question. What is the valley and the mountain going to be the 18 holes for the golf course in, and the lake is going to be what you said over there?
Yes, sir.
That's separate, and the golf course will be part of the mountain and the valley. Right?
Yes, the 18 holes will be the valley and the mountain.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all here.
All right.
That's it.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to go back to the park.
Yes.
So is the park a city-owned park, or is this a privately owned park?
Privately owned. We own it. We own it.
How is the community going to have access to that park?
By purchasing a card, an electronic key card, to get into that. We're going to gate it, fence it, secure it with electronic key, and that'll change every 30 days. So we presented this to a lot of members of the Lake Night community the other night, just a couple nights ago, and they were really concerned about security out there, because right now I'm concerned about security. We got a bunch of yahoos up here taking them off dirt bikes all over our golf course and destroying the fences that we have on there to keep them off right now.
There's no fee for people to come into that park?
It's be about a $25 fee a month.
So
get
the
the card.
majority of these people, I would venture to say, are not golfers. So there may be some golfers in this room. So the fees for golfing are not cheap. So are the average person going to be able to come into this park or come into this golf course?
The average, anybody who wants to play golf can play golf. If you want to use this park, you need to come get a key card from our golf shop to access the park.
There's no fee to go to
There
the
will
park?
be about a $25 a month fee for the access to the park.
And the apartments that you're building, what is the average apartment rent for those?
They're all market rent. Good question. They're all market rent. This is not low income apartments. These apartments are going to be in competition with our existing apartments right next door. Today's average rental is somewhere between $1,500, $1,600 a month, depending upon if you have a studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom.
I like your card. I have more questions.
Okay, great. And we have a website, and feel free to access that website anytime you want and ask me questions. There you go. And that website is www.mvr.golf.
MV Ranch.
Oh,
Golf-
yeah.
MVRanchGolfClub.com.
mvranchgolfclub.com. mvranchgolfclub.com. Yes, ma'am.
This is probably something everybody knows, but the apartments are on this side of JFK. This park is on the other side, or is on this side?
The apartments are right here.
Yeah, and what about the park? Where is that?
The park is going to be the Lake 9, which is on the other side of Moreno Beach Road, and goes up Iris when it turns into Iris.
So it's still on this side of JFK?
Yeah, north of JFK, yeah, south of JFK. That's right.
It's where the golf course is then, down?
The Lake 9 is north of JFK. That's still going to be a golf course. I mean, sorry, the Valley course is north of JFK. That's still going to be a golf course. The Mountain 9 is right here. The Lake 9 is where we're going to have the park.
Okay.
Okay. This, youth services? Yes.
It's where, the youth service, where I'm looking at the diagram, I'm lost. The youth service.
Yeah, you want to know where it is?
Yeah, where would that be?
You know the name of, you know where the junior high school is, right?
Yeah.
You know that park that's adjacent to that?
Oh,
That,
that vacant area.
that building, no, the building, that we own the building right next to that park.
Okay, I know where you are.
That's where it's gonna be. Okay? Okay, so, feel free to check our website out, ask me any questions. I don't want to take up too much of these guys' time, but I'm excited to be a part, we're excited as a company to be a part of your community. And we want to get this thing going. Earth Day, it's our little special place in the world. We want to do all we can to make our community better when we leave than when it was when we found it. So that's where we are. Thank you.
I want to speak to all of you just for a couple seconds, before we actually start this debate. Unfortunately, I have never had the honor to meet the candidates for District 4 for this city council seat. But I was honored to be able to do the invocation prayer for the District 1 debate that they had prior to November of last year. And I did a talk on that really touched a lot of people. And I felt like it would be something that would get us in the mode, and it would actually get us thinking as we start this debate. And I'm really doing it for these three candidates that are up here this evening. You know, today we're going to be hearing from these three candidates as our leader, the future leadership of this city. And we're going to have this opportunity to ask them questions, listen to responses, make decisions in our minds, who the best person would be to represent us and represent our families. But the first question I need all of us to ask first is this: what exactly is a leader? What is the most important thing to you, all of you in this room, you the residents here of this community in District 4? You know, I mentioned this story back at the District 1 debate, but it's worth repeating. There was a young teenager who was extremely popular among other kids his age in his school. This young man was an excellent leader in his school groups, in the classroom, and on the sports field. One of his friends visited him at his home and saw a homemade plaque in his bedroom. And the words on this plaque said, "I am third" on it. Well, his friend was a little bit confused, so he asked him, what exactly does that mean? This teenage boy replied, "It is the motto that I try to use each and every day in my life. And what that motto says is, God is first, others are second, and I am third." The teenager continued, "The driving force in our lives should be trying to please God first and foremost, living every day for Him. Secondly, we need to take into consideration the needs and desires of others before our own. When we are able to take a back seat to other people, then we are being the humble servant leaders that God wants us to be." Well, you know what? That plaque said it all for me. I could not have said it better myself. It doesn't matter if you're leading a church, if you're leading a business, if you're leading your home, or if you're leading a district. The idea of servant leadership applies to all of them. And Jesus gave us the perfect model of this type of leadership in the book of Mark, chapter 12. When Jesus was asked, what is the most important commandment of all? Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And the second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no greater commandment than these. Jesus is the perfect model of this type of leadership. He led others by feeding them, by healing them, by teaching them, and by serving them. Jesus cared more about the needs of the people, much more than he ever cared about the needs for himself. That's what a leader needs to look like. A leader that fears God and puts the cares and the needs of others in their district ahead of their own agenda. One that allows God to lead them so that they can lead others in a godly way. One that loves people no matter what, their gender, their race, their culture, their economic situation, or anything else in their community. There was an unknown author who said this very famous quote, and I quote, real leaders does not need to advertise their leadership except through their conduct, their heart, their understanding, and their ability to love others. We're going to hear a lot of great information tonight. I've seen the questions. We're going to have wonderful questions by you, the audience. But what I'm hoping that I'm going to hear most is I'm hoping from these candidates here, we're going to hear what this teenage boy in my initial story said, is that remembering that God is always first, you, the community, is second, and they and their interests is third. Let's pray. Please bow your heads with me and pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you so much for the opportunity for all of us to be here today. Lord, thank you for bringing these leaders here to this place in order for them to be able to express their thoughts, their ideas, in leading your people here in the 4th District of Moreno Valley. Lord, you have showed us in your word what a leader should look like. You modeled it perfectly while you were on this earth. So Lord, I ask you to bless each candidate here. Let their voice be heard in a way that brings clarity to their positions on issues of this great district. And Lord, I pray that the debate today is open, it's fair, and through it all, you will be glorified. Lord, we love you with everything we got, and we honor and praise you in the precious name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. Well, at this time, I am honored because I get to introduce to you the man who is in charge of this debate. He is our moderator, and let me tell you, folks, he's really good at what he does. So again, give me a warm welcome for Mr. Chris Jones.
Thank you, Pastor Don, for the introduction and those heartfelt words. And again, I would like to welcome you all, ladies and gentlemen, to the Moreno Valley District 4 debates. Before we get started, I would like to address the rules. I would like everyone to notice the exits here along the right side of the building. If there are any emergencies, please exit the building in an orderly fashion through these exits unless the emergency is to the right, in which case you will exit back through the entrance that you came into the building. The rules. So our candidates today will each have 3 minutes to introduce themselves. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to respond to each question. If another candidate is mentioned in the original candidate's answer, if he or she chooses, that candidate will be given 60 seconds in which to respond to those comments. The original candidate will then have 30 seconds to issue a rebuttal if they so choose. We have a timekeeper here today. When you have 30 seconds left in your statement, you will hear 1 bell. When your time has elapsed, you will hear 2 bells. At that time, You will have to finish your comments so we can proceed with further questions. The candidates will be more than welcome to stand and walk amongst the crowd as they are answering the questions. I would actually encourage that. We are going to have respect here today, mutual respect amongst the candidates, as well as the candidates to the audience and the audience to the candidates. I would like you to refrain from speaking while the candidates are speaking. We have taken questions on 3x5 cards from the audience. Time permitting, we will take live questions from the audience. In that case, I would ask that you raise your hand. Once we have noticed you, you will be called upon. Please stand and present your question to the candidates. You can present your questions to any one candidate or to all candidates. It's your choice. So with no further ado, I would like to begin. Our candidates today, Mrs. Shaylinda Barnard. Please give a round of applause. Commissioner James Baker. And Mr. Hector Diaz. Mrs. Barnard, please introduce yourself.
So my name is Shaylinda Barnard. I understand everybody wants to know who I am. I am a resident of District 4. I have lived in District 4 now for 11 years. I am running because I'm, like you, a concerned citizen. I'm not a politician by any stretch of the imagination. I have served this community as a social worker and have worked for the County of Riverside for the last 5 years. Okay? Prior to that, I was a paralegal. I've been concerned with some of the things that our elected officials have done in this community. I decided to run because for the last, 10 years, we've left them to make certain decisions, and the things that I'm seeing around me have caused me some concern. I want to raise my family here. My husband and I brought our home here in order to raise our family here. So I want to make a difference in the community for District 4, and I feel that the elected officials aren't doing what they promised us or doing what's the best thing for this city or our community. They're thinking about themselves first. So those are the reasons that I've decided to run for District 4. So I understand a lot of you have been, who is Shaylinda, where is Shaylinda? This is me. You'll hear a lot about some of the things that I think and be able to hopefully talk with you guys and get some questions directed at me so you guys can kind of pick my brain and see who I am.
Thank you, Mrs. Barnard. Commissioner Baker, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Audience, yes. Thank you all for being here today. I'm so happy to bless. Oh, you can't hear me? Okay, I'll speak up. My name is James. Thank you all for being here today. My name is James Baker, Park Commissioner for the City of Moreno Valley. I'm a homeowner here. I've been in the city for 10 years, and I served as a Park Commissioner here for many, many years. And before I even get started with that, I need to ask you all one question, if I may. What is the definition of servant or one who serves? Everybody know what that means? What is the definition of servant? It's one who serves and is devoted to others. And this is what I plan to do. 3 ways. I want to serve through accessibility. I've been here 10 years. I have been accessible to people. Most it's like a family reunion to me. I know most of you people here already. I've been in your homes. I've been in your businesses. I've been in your communities. I've been to your private. I've been beat here. I've been beat. But I've been to your residences, your homes, your businesses, all these places. I want to be an accessible person. I want to be a collaborator. I'm known for bringing people together and pulling the job together and working, making it happen. I'm known for that. Anyone seen the mountain up there, the big mountain, the big M up there? I think I put a smile on everybody's faces. That's my own project. I started, I did it without funds from the city. I did it with donations and also with volunteers. So not one city, money of the city was spent working on the mountain there. So many things I've done, we'll get to those later on, but I just wanted to let you know that collaboration and also performance. I'm known for getting the job done, guys. I don't mess around. And those that know me, you know me, I'm like that. I get the job done, period. I'm not afraid to tackle any situation or handle it. I will get the job done. I'm asking you all to vote for me on the 6th, so we can come together, band together, and make things happen for the city. I know I can do it. Most of you know I can do it. Let's get together, and let's get the job done. Vote for the Commish.
I should have mentioned this earlier. If you have not done so, please set your cell phones to silent. Please do that at this time. Thank you, Commissioner Baker, for those words. Mr. Diaz, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Can everyone hear me all the way in the back? Okay, hi, my name is Hector Diaz. I am a small business owner in the city. I've been conducting business here for approximately 12 years. A business owner overall, 18 years. People ask me, why are you running for city council? Well, this is my hometown, because I love Moreno Valley. And I have family here, my kids are growing here, I conduct businesses here, and I want what's best for the community as well. I've been I have several businesses here in the city. A lot of people think that I only own a restaurant. No, I also own other entities as well. And let me tell you that I want to make change for the city, bring positive change. I am a strong supporter of law enforcement. Public safety is my number one concern. And I've been talking to a lot of the residents here in the city of Moreno Valley. And also I learned that that's their number one concern as well. The other point is business, jobs. We need more jobs in the city. I'm a job creator. I've been creating jobs for 18 years, different industries. So I know what it's like to write sign the front of a check, not only the back of a check, but the front of a check as well. And I'm a hardworking person, come from a large family. I started working at the age of 7, so I'm not afraid to work. I'm a working machine, that's one of my biggest problems. And if I have a little bit of free time, I start thinking about the next project. So you're gonna get a hardworking individual committed to the city and willing to listen to my constituents, and just a phone call away from you guys for any questions. And if you have any questions after the debate, feel free to approach me. I'll be more than glad to answer any questions you may have. I'm all about transparency. Thank you so much.
This time we'll begin with the questions. I've received a number of questions on this issue, so we're going to go ahead and knock this out of the box right now. Mr. Diaz, can you please elaborate on your